John Beltran with Brian Nickell at Trailblazer Stadium in Lakewood. Brian, let's get to your Nickell package, the 5 keys to a Mustang victory against the Conifer Lobos this afternoon in Lakewood.
First one I got is the offense needs to finish their scoring off in the first half. They've got to get points in that first half. They can't let that defense control that whole game. They've got to be able to get on the board. Keep improving the passing game. It came along last week real nice, and this week they just need to improve on that and keep it going. Defensively, they need to pressure the quarterback. It doesn't look like he runs very much. He's only got 12 yards on 5 carries, so he doesn't seem to run. So maybe they can put some pressure on him. And then the last two is they need to shut down Sam Hornick and slow down Noah Wagner. Wagner has 25 carries with 7 touchdowns so far this year, and the quarterback also. The quarterback also has 7 touchdown passes also. So they're going to have their hands full. They're a pretty balanced team is Conifer.
Mustangs will kick off. The opening kickoff is brought to you by Ingmeyer Phillips Insurance. Things happen in life. Make sure you're prepared with the right insurance coverage. Ingmeyer Phillips Insurance in Brush and Fort Morgan, the senior Jacob Ortega to kick it off for the Mustangs. Mustangs in their road whites and Conifer green from top to bottom. A line drive headed towards the 8-yard line. Straight ahead to the 10 to the 15. Running to the left is Hornbeck to the 20. He's grabbed around the waist and thrown down at the 25. A return of about 17 yards there on that kickoff return.
Frankie Ortega in on the
how about that?
On the tackle.
Yeah. And Malachi Yanez around the football as well. So it'll be 1st and 10. The quarterback is J.R. Hart. And again, as Brian mentioned, Noah Wagner. He's the back, and there looks like they're going to be lining up in a pistol. 3 yards behind center here is Hart. And Hart with the option right, and he'll take it himself across the 30-yard line, and he's tackled right there to around the 31. Gain of about 5 to 6 yards in the play. And the initial hit for Fort Morgan made by Caden Edson. 2nd down and about, we'll call it about 5 to go, with the football resting at the 31. Well, right there, Hart took off, and like I said, he hasn't run much this season.
That's right.
But he did it right there because the Mustangs are keen on the running back. At least they did on that first play. Now out of the gun with a running back to the right. Man in motion, Hornbeck to the right, and we've got a illegal procedure. So this will be a 2nd down and 10. Yeah, back at the original line of scrimmage for Conifer.
So they're starting off on the wrong foot, kind of like what TJ did last week.
Yeah, Thomas Jefferson had a couple of 15-yard penalties in the opening quarter, and that basically kept it going with just other miscues. 2nd down and 10 for Conifer. The lone setback is to the left. Out of the shotgun is J.R. Hart. 2 receivers split each side. Play action. The slide over the middle is caught and close to a 1st down, and moving forward to the 38, maybe the 39-yard line on about a 12-yard completion for Conifer. Oh, that's a 14. I don't think we got a 14 on the roster, unless it's on a backup roster. Yeah, we don't have a 14.
Sam Donovan is who I had off of Max Preps.
Yeah, give him a gain of 12. 1st and 10 for Conifer at the 38, and there's the give to the deep back and running right up the gut for a couple of yards, maybe to the 40. That Donovan again wearing that same jersey that was not on our other roster. It's a gain of about 3. Middle of the Mustang defense to make the tackle. 2nd down and 7. Nick Norris and others in on the hit for Fort Morgan.
It's a nice job by that defensive front line. They'll have to win that battle today.
From the 41, receivers to the left, 2 to the left to make it 3 to the left, 1 to the right with 1 setback. 3-step drop for Hart. Pass up the middle is complete. A 1st down, now backtracking, and that's going to be right at the stick to the 48-yard line. As the tackle was made by Fernando Marquez at Stephen Douglas making the catch, but he almost cost him. He did cost himself a 1st down. It's only a gain of 6. But a hurry-up offense. 3rd down and 1 yard to go. Quarterback sneak. It's a 1st down. And across the 50 to the 49. A pickup of 4 and a quarterback sneak for J.R. Hart. And it's a very efficient offense so far for Conifer. 9:43 to go in the opening quarter. No score. The Mustangs have yet to touch the ball. 2 receivers now split each side. From the shotgun, running back to the right of Hart. 3-step drop, throws it out to his left, complete. And a big shot there by Marquez. A gain of about 3. And the pass was caught underneath. That might be Donovan again.
Hart's pass complete to Donovan.
Yep.
Second down and 7 to go. And so far, J.R. Hart 3 out of 3 for 21 yards here in the early going.
I can see why he hasn't been sacked. He doesn't take long in the backfield. I mean, they're like a 7-10 yard pass, just like we were talking about, like C. Morgan do.
Yep. 4 yards behind center is J.R. Hart awaiting the snap. Hornbeck is in motion to the right. Back to throw is Hart. Getting hit as he throws incomplete. A slant there at the 30-yard line, but well defended. A flag is down at about the 49, and it's a holding call against Conifer. Now the Mustangs will take him back, setting up a second down and 17. Second penalty against Conifer. They've got 2 for 15 yards. But we know that Conifer, they're going to throw the football. They've already done it. This was very similar to what we saw a year ago. They couldn't get the passing game going, and the Mustangs shut them out over the first 3 quarters. And actually, that holding call was behind the line of scrimmage. So instead of a second and 17, we're looking at a second down and 20. 8:52 to go in the opening quarter from Trailblazer Stadium in Lakewood. One receiver to the left, one to the right. On the counter, handoff to the left side and a big hole to the 50, across the 50, and lunging his way to the 45 is Noah Wagner. It's a gain of 14. Getting off the bottom of the pile for Fort Morgan is Andrew Monroe, but now it's a third down and 6 off the first carry from Noah Wagner as they're back into Mustang territory.
Yeah, Wagner's a big boy. He's 6'3", 190, so he's going to be a handful.
Well, you got to tackle him low, and the Mustangs got a little bit high to begin with, and then finally Monroe was able to grasp those ankles. Trips to the left. One receiver to the right. Third down and 6 for the Mustang 45. Hart will hand it off on the right side, short of a first down. Wagner being held up and driven back by Nick Norris after a gain of about a yard.
Wagner, ball carrier.
4th and 5. Let's see if this is 4-down territory for Conifer. They have chewed up over 4 minutes of game time here in the first quarter.
Yeah, nice job that time by Nick Norris.
Well, when you run on Norris's side, you rarely get by him. But they tried that side that time. 4th and 5 from the 44. 2 receivers split out each side out of the pistol. Now the running back to the left of the quarterback, J.R. Hart. Man in motion is Hornbeck. He'll have it on the jet sweep running left inside the 45 to the 40, and he's going to have a first down across the 40 along the sideline to the 37, maybe the 36. Again, Monroe out there, but not before it's a gain of 7, and the drive continues for Conifer. The first carry for Sam Hornick.
Yeah, that jet sweep out left, and he just had the blocking out front and got enough for the first down.
At the Mustang 37, under center this time with 2 in the backfield, including Wagner, but it goes over to the secondary running back across the 35 to the 33. Let's see if, I don't think that was Donovan. Yep, it was Donovan. A pickup of 4. Nick Norris around the play to make the hit along with a couple of other Mustangs. They'll give him 5 yards. Second down and 5 to go. Off that carry by Donovan for Conifer. Now at the Mustang 32-yard line. On that left hash mark. 6.5 to go in the first, just eating up clock from the pistol. Let's see if the running back resets. Nope, he will not. Option left. And keeping it as Hart, and he lunges inside the 30 to the 29 for a gain of 3. Brian Paxton, check it, Eddie DePriest made the hit for Fort Morgan.
So initially we said that he hasn't been running much. I don't know if this is something that they have just installed into their game plan or if it's something that they've been doing and they just haven't been doing it much.
Third down and 2 yards to go for Conifer at the Mustang 29-yard line. The backs are split, Donovan and Wagner. Hart under center, hands off to Donovan. First down, running right, and he stumbles his way inside the 25 to the 23. Ernie Sandoval, one of the Mustangs, in on the play, but it's a gain of 6. And Donovan now with 3 carries for 14 yards, and Conifer doing a nice job here in the first quarter.
First down.
Not allowing this Fort Morgan offense to touch the football. They've chewed up 6.5 minutes of game clock.
Yeah, they're doing a nice job controlling the ball. Pass and run both.
Out of the gun, running back to his right. Hart from the 23. Play action, rolls out to his right, still rolling. He's going to take off with a football, cuts it to the inside the 20. Sandoval got him initially, but not before Hart picks up 6 yards to the 17-yard line. Again, a lot of positive yardage here for Conifer. They had 1 carry of 1 yard. Everything else is 3 to 4 yards or more. Second down and 4 to go. Eddie DePriest checks out of the game. And for Fort Morgan is Brian Paxton. And they have run how many plays here, Brian, already?
This will be their 14th.
Second down and 4 to go from the Mustang 17. Back split, Wagner, handoff left side. He lunges for the first down to the 13. Cale Langford makes the tackle around the ankles.
Defensive play made by Langford.
Let's see, they're right at the stick.
They're going to give it to him.
First down.
Oh, they got to plug those holes a little bit quicker. This is a masterful drive.
Yeah.
Mustangs 13-yard line.
Boy, but this would be deflating if Conifer does not score, considering that they're gonna use up 75% of the first quarter. From the 13-yard line, from the pistol, J.R. Hart with 2 receivers split each side. A flag is there, and that will be illegal formation. I didn't see any movement there at all. So maybe illegal procedure. I don't know. I didn't see. And the
number 72.
it's a false start.
Yeah.
So first down and 15 with a faulty mic.
We penalize him for that?
As long as we don't have a faulty mic, we're good. At the 18-yard line for Conifer. And the clock is running 4 minutes and 15 seconds. They've held the ball for almost 8 minutes. 2 receivers split each side. The setback is Wagner out of the gun. The quick throw out to the left is incomplete. Off the hands of Donovan, defended by Fernando Marquez. Would have been good for maybe a gain of about 2 or 3 yards at the most. Second down, and that's the second straight incompletion thrown by Hart. 3 out of 5 for 21 yards on this drive.
Yeah, it was right in his hands. That was one he should have held in, although it wouldn't have been much of a gain, but it was right there.
From the 18-yard line, second down and 10 for Conifer. Make it second and 15 for Conifer from the 18. Again, same formation. Wagner, the running back to the right of the quarterback. Hart awaits the snap, and he will hand it off to Hart, running left, breaks a tackle at the 15-yard line, has a sideline to the 10 to the 5, and he's gone. Once he got to the sideline, it was easy pickings there for Noah Wagner, 18 yards away, and Conifer leads 6-0. Well, he got through that initial line there. The Mustangs had him around the ankles at about the 15-yard line. Then he found a seam to the edge and had no Mustang really in front of him. And now the extra point to be attempted by Graham Dixon, a senior, left-footed kicker. Perfect snap. The kick is up, and that kick is good. 3:56 to go in the opening quarter. Conifer 7, Fort Morgan nothing on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. A 16-play, 74-yard drive, and they did it in 7 minutes and 58 seconds. The 18-yard run by Noah Wagner, high, deep kick, and it's at the goal line, and coming out of there is Sadinana running to his left, back towards the middle, breaks a couple of tackles, and across the 20 to the 26. Nice job of Sadinana making something out of what could have been nothing back at around the 10 or 15-yard line. And the Mustangs, with only 3:49 to go in the first quarter after that 16-play, 74-yard drive put together by Conifer, have the football for the first time in the game. So here we go. The sophomore quarterback, Briggs Wheatley, getting his second start with a football just shy of the 26. Lining up out of the pistol, Cale Langford is the back. On first down from the 26, he has the football, breaks out of a tackle, and he drives his way towards the 29, then he's driven back. Sam Donovan, a gain of 3 for Cale Langford, who had a big game offensively against Brush. Mustangs right back up to the line of scrimmage, second down and 7. The receiver to the left is Malachi Yanez. The outside receiver to the right is Jacob Ortega. Ernie Sandoval on that inside slot, second down and 7. And there is the handoff right to Langford off the right side, and he's got a couple of yards. He spun his way to the 31, picking up 2 yards. And on the hit for Conifer was Esau Cloutier, a 5'10", 190-pound defensive end. Third down and 5 to go for Fort Morgan. Inside of 3 minutes to go, opening quarter. Conifer 7, Fort Morgan nothing. Adam Cardona now the receiver to the left, and Yanez lines up to the right. On the inside right there's Ortega. 2 receivers put out that way. Out of the pistol, Sandoval resets, 3rd and 5. Wheatley is going to roll out to his right. He'll throw underneath. The pass is complete. A nice grab, a bobbled catch there by Ernie Sandoval to the 39. It's a gain of 8. Ernie's got terrific hands, but that time had to make sure to reel that football in. The throw was a tad low, but right there for Sandoval, and the Mustangs move the sticks just shy of the 40. So officially a gain of 9. Fort Morgan needed that play. You don't want that defense back on the field after they endured a nearly 8-minute drive by Conifer. Clock is running, 2:10 to go first quarter. 4 yards behind center is Wheatley from the 40. Wheatley will hand it off to Langford, and he jitterbugs his way to about the 43. Held up, never tackled, but held up right there. They might backtrack that football a bit to the 42. Picks up 2. 7 yards on 2 carries. Make it 3 there for K.O. Langford. He's going to check out here momentarily. David Sadinana checks in. Sadinana to the left of the quarterback, Wheatley, on 2nd down and 8 for the 42. Trips to the left. 1 receiver to the right. Wheatley awaits a snap. Wheatley on that pass out in the left flat, and it was low and incomplete. Well, at least the good news there, he threw it out in front of Ortega on what was a little bit of a bubble screen, but not a very solid delivery. 3rd down and 8 to go for Fort Morgan. Yeah, I don't know if it looked like he got a lot of arm and not a lot of legs into that throw.
Right. Yeah, it was. His first pass was low too, but that's quite a throw out into the flat.
Right, going up against his body. 3rd down and 8. They're coming out of blitz. Looked like an offsides, but no whistle. And now Wheatley is going to have to get it back to the 40-yard line after it was mishandled. It looked like Conifer was offsides there, but no whistle, no flag. It'll be 4th and 10, and the Mustangs have to punt. Well, I mean, that was read extremely well there by Conifer coming on that blitz, because very close to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I thought the guy had actually crossed over, but they didn't. Side judges didn't see it that way. So
let's see, is Frankie now in there to with 58 seconds to go? See if that punter has perfect snap. That might be Ortega. High fluttering punt, and it's fielded at the 28. A fair catch called at the 28 by Stephen Douglas. That's where Conifer has the football, and yeah, that was Frankie Ortega on the punt. That's not a 40-yard punt, I can tell you. You got to go for the line of scrimmage. It was a pretty nice punt, but it's not a 40-yard. I think that's what he said. That punt for Ortega went 31 yards as Conifer has it at their own 29, 49.1 seconds to go in the opening quarter. 7-0. The Lobos are in the lead on a 14-yard, making an 18-yard run by Noah Wagner. 2 receivers split each side out of the gun. Wagner is the running back to Hart's right. 1-step drop, slant, caught near a 1st down, and still stumbling his way to the 40-yard line for a gain of 11 is Sam Hornick. And J.R. Hart with his 4th pass completion here in the opening quarter.
Yeah, just a lot of short stuff, and they're finding the holes in that defense, and Hart is finding whoever happens to be there.
Well, they don't want that Mustang pass rush to get there. That's pretty obvious. You never do, but that's the way you minimize it with 1- and 2-step drops. And just those quick releases. 1st and 10 for the 40. The backs are split. Hart is under center. 2 receivers out to the left. On the misdirection. Running left is Wagner. A big hole across the 45. A 1st down inside the 45 to the 47. A gain of 13. A couple of Mustangs. Ernie Sandoval and Jacob Ortega there to make the hit. But again, Noah Wagner now has really reeled off some big carries. He's got 5 carries in the game for 50 yards. So he's averaging 10 yards a pop. Right up to the line of scrimmage. I don't think they'll get this play off with 2 seconds to go. That'll be the end of the opening quarter. With the score, Conifer 7, Fort Morgan nothing. It's a 1-minute break on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Fort Morgan trails Conifer 7-0. Let's head to the second quarter. John Beltran with Brian Nickell from Trailblazer Stadium in Lakewood. And if Conifer maintains that momentum they had in the opening quarter, which Thomas Jefferson could not do last week, this could be a tough afternoon for the Mustangs. 1st and 10 for Conifer at the Mustang 47. 2 receivers out each side, out of the gun with a running back to the right of the quarterback, J.R. Hart. Throws it out in the left flat, caught by Donovan, breaks it of a tackle, and then he spins inside the 45 to the 42. Gain of around, 5 yards in the play. A Mustang is down across the way. 2nd down and 5. Oh, somebody got banged up over there after the pickup of 5 on that pass to Donovan.
I think it's Christopher Snyder.
Yep. So J.R. Hart, 5 out of 7 for 37 yards. But again, the story is Noah Wagner, who's got 50 yards in the opening quarter. And Fort Morgan's done a pretty good job of tackling. At least they did the first 2 games. Right. Had their issues against Thomas Jefferson at times, but Thomas Jefferson was so big and so fast that's understandable. But you can tell that Conifer is a year older. You can tell that Conifer is senior laden because they're operating very, very proficiently with this offense. Now, Fort Morgan needs to have 1 positive play on defense, and all they've really had are a couple. And by that, 1 play went for 1 yard, another went for 3 yards. 2nd down and 5 to go for Conifer. The Mustang 42, they lead 7-0. 2 in the backfield, 1 to the left and right of the quarterback. Donovan in motion, and there's a flag down. This will be against Conifer. Miko Yanez ended up on his back. I believe it's against Conifer. And it will be. Yep, there you go. They still haven't fixed the field mic, but it is a false start. 2nd down and 10. And you know what? Maybe that's what the Mustang defense needs some help from that Conifer offense.
Conifer had 3 penalties, though, in that first drive, and they overcame them without much problem. They had that one holding call that set them back to a 2nd and 20, and didn't seem to phase them.
2nd down and 10 to go for Conifer. The Mustang 47, 11.5 to go, 2nd quarter. 2 receivers out to the right, nobody to the left. Hart is now under center with a back split. Hart is going to roll out to his right. Pressure coming, sets those deep over the middle. It's going to be caught at the 20-yard line to the 10. It's a touchdown. Holy Mahungus, 47 yards away. A Mustang was out there caught by Sam Hornick, but he stumbled at the 20 and kept his balance, and Conifer leads 13-0.
Yeah, that was Andrew Monroe that was out there trying to cover.
Here we go, the extra point to be attempted by Graham Dixon off the hold of Hornick. Perfect snap, the kick is up, and it is right inside the right upright. 11:14 to go. 2nd quarter, we'll keep it right here. Conifer leads Fort Morgan 14-0 on a pass deep over the middle. Well, 2nd week in a row, the Mustangs are down by double digits on the road.
Yep, they've only had the ball one time so far, but they had it for 3 minutes, but only got 14 yards out of it. So they've got to take some more time off the clock and got to be able to finish these drives if they want to. They want to be in this ball game.
Right now, let's see what the numbers read. Conifer, up to this point, has 173 yards of total offense in 2 possessions. And the Mustangs have 14 yards. Check that, 14 yards on their first possession. Now to Dixon to kick it off. There's a line drive headed for the end zone. That's a deep line drive at that. He booted that football. Were they not ready for the ball to be in play because their flags are down apparently. I don't see the flags, but that's what I'm hearing.
Back here in the...
Oh, yeah. It's a formation penalty against Conifer. They'll have to kick it off from the 35 now. Well, this will give Fort Morgan an opportunity, hopefully, for a return. The last one that Dixon had was to the goal line, returned by Sadinana, but now the Mustangs are setting up at their own 10 with Ortega and Sadinana, so anything that gets behind them hopefully goes into the end zone. So Conifer with a touchdown in the first quarter, a touchdown in the second quarter. And here's the left-footed kicker with another booming kick. Backing up is Ortega. He's got it at the 1-yard line, running to his right to the 10. Dances out to the 15, and he cuts his way to the 20, down to the 23, maybe the 24-yard line. And that's where the Mustangs will start. The Conifer tackle was made. Again, why don't we have you got a number 80 there? I don't have them on the other roster either.
For them?
Yeah, sorry.
I do not.
Yeah, that drives me insane. You put together a roster, make sure you got all the players on there. 1st and 10, the Mustangs lining up on the right hash mark at their own 24-yard line, trailing by 2 scores. And even if you don't score here, just pick up a couple of first downs to get something going. Waitley, 4 yards behind center, is going to roll out. Now he'll set up in the middle. The pass is tipped incomplete. Intended for Sandoval, but it was tipped underneath by a Lobo. That might have been Gunnar Truby. He got his hand on it. 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, that was almost a disaster there. It went right through his hands. And almost, after it went by the receiver, almost went into Conifer's hands again.
From the 24, there's the give, and spinning his way back towards the line of scrimmage, but not getting there is Langford. There was too much penetration, and nothing Kale could do about that one. He was hit by a couple of Lobos, and a third was also in on the play, as Trenton Jay, a 5'11", 200-pound senior, made the first contact. 3rd down, and about 11 to go, a loss of 1. Back at the 23-yard line, 4th carry for Langford. Trips to the left. 1 receiver to the right, passing situation for the Mustangs with 10.5 to go in the second. Wheatley out of the gun. Pressure coming. Nope, they're going to back off on the blitz. Back to throw, and the slant is going to be caught by Ortega and then drop. He took a massive hit at the 43-yard line. That was a huge hit delivered by Eric Hartness, a 5'10", 140-pound junior defensive back. And it's 4th down. That was a solid hit. And obviously Jacob didn't see that coming because the football was right in his hands.
No, he didn't see that coming at all. Yeah, it was a nice pass by Briggs, too.
Yeah, outstanding delivery by the sophomore quarterback, now Ortega. That's Frankie to punt, standing just outside his own 8-yard line. Perfect snap. He gets it off and fluttering punt. Fair catch. Called at the 39. Boy, there was room to run there for Stephen Douglas. And now we got a late flag. Punt went for 38 yards, so let's see what the flag is all about. Is this some type of unsportsman or something like that? Because it was thrown along the sideline. Well, let's not hope it's against Fort Morgan. If not, that's great field position for Conifer. This will be unsportsmanlike against Conifer. All right, well, that drives them back to about the 25. I mean, you know, I'm going to say this right now. An unsportsmanlike conduct penalty looks worse when you're in the lead.
Yeah.
Now, Conifer's played a great game, but you don't want, I mean, they're playing so well right now, you don't want to just step on your own toes there. 1st and 10 for the Lobos at their own 25. An 18-yard touchdown run by Noah Wagner and a 47-yard scoring pass from J.R. Hart to Sam Hornick. Mustangs have been unable to stop this Conifer Lobo offense. Looks like the sideline getting in a fresh headset for Coach Langford. His defense has got to figure things out here, down 14-0 in the second quarter. We got 10:17 to go, and Conifer back up to the line of scrimmage with trips to the right. One receiver out to the left, and another flag, and it's another false start. Boy, for an offense that has scored on 2 possessions, they've had 4 of those penalties already. Engineering and consulting services for all of your projects. Western Engineering Consultants, strong commitment to their clients' needs sets them apart. Get your project started the right way. Western Engineering Consultants. 1st and 10, make it 15 for Conifer at their own 20. Up 14-0. 2 receivers out to the right. Now in motion there is Wagner. It's an inside handoff and a big hole up the middle for Donovan, still on his feet, hanging on for dear life as a Mustang across the 30 towards the 32-yard line. Boy, but just wait till Fernando Marquez came up and was in on the play, but it's a gain of 13 there for Sam Donovan. And
yeah, they're making some big holes in that front line.
that's his 4th carry for 27 yards. A pitch right. Flag is down. Wagner with a first down, but it could be coming back across the 40, and he's taken out of bounds towards the 45-yard line, but that should nullify what would be about a 12-yard gain. And the preliminary indication is going to go against Conifer. Let's see what it is. An illegal shift. That'll take them back to the 28. Well, setting up a 2nd and Fort Morgan needs every break they can get, Brian.
Yeah.
Right now they're being completely outplayed.
Yeah, they're being manhandled up front on the runs and are getting cut off on the outside runs.
Well, it's amazing. They got away with it last week to a point that they had a chance to take the lead in the 3rd quarter. But the one thing that Conifer has that Thomas Jefferson didn't have is a guy that can kick extra points. TJ struggled with a point after conversion. With a football at the 28-yard line. 2nd down and 7. 9:45 to go, 2nd quarter. Conifer 14, Fort Morgan nothing. Receiver split each side. One setback. That's Noah Wagner. Back to throw his heart. And the pass is complete underneath. That's a big hit delivered by K.O. Langford. Sam Donovan made the catch, a gain of 5. 4th catch. 3rd down and 2 for Conifer. But can you stop them? That's the whole thing.
They haven't been able to so far.
And you wouldn't see this as a passing play. Sam Hart has attempted 9 passes. He's 7 of 9 for 89 yards. 3rd down, 2 yards to go at their own 33-yard line. Donovan and Wagner in the backfield. They're split under center is J.R. Hart. Handoff, counter, Wagner. 1st down across the left side. Schneider holds on and makes the tackle, but it's a gain of 6 for Sam Donovan. That's his 5th carry now for 33 yards.
Is that Donovan or Wagner?
1st down, Lobo.
No, that was Donovan.
Okay.
Yeah, that was Donovan. At the 39. Approaching 200 yards of offense is Conifer here, and we're not even midway through the 2nd quarter. 2 receivers out to the right, 1 to the left. Rolling out to his right is Hart. Throw underneath, wide open, caught at the 40. 1st down by Donovan, and he breaks out of a tackle at the 50 into Mustang territory and ridden out of bounds at the 47. but it's a gain of 14 and another first down for the Lobos. And I don't know how they leave him open because he's got 5 catches already for 39 yards. Mustangs making defensive substitutions. Yeah, Thomas Jefferson had a little bit more size and speed, but they didn't always execute the way Conifer has been.
Right, yep.
For the 3rd consecutive drive, Conifer's in Fort Morgan territory at the 46, 8.5 to go. In the second quarter, under center is Hart. And on the counter, misdirection. Wagner back up to the middle. A first down across the 35 to the 32. Caden Edson in on the first hit, but it's a gain of 15 for Noah Wagner. He's had 4 of his 6 carries go for more than 10 yards. He's up to 65 yards on 6 carries. Lining up quickly. Trips to the left from the 31, out of the gun, naked backfield, Hart back to throw. Throws it deep over the middle, and it's going to be caught in the back of the end zone. Touchdown. Sam Hornick in the back of the end zone from 31 yards away. Conifer now leads 20-0. The second touchdown catch for the senior Sam Hornick.
Yeah, it was a beautiful pass. I mean, he laid it right over the top, right in the back of the end zone.
Yeah, Fort Morgan is shell-shocked here, and Hart is doing an incredible job of delivering those passes, and now the extra point to be attempted by Graham Dixon. Awaiting the snap. And Dixon kicks it and boots it right down the middle. 8:09 to go, second quarter. It's Conifer 21, Fort Morgan nothing. We're in Lakewood on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. 3 drives and 3 touchdowns for Conifer, including a 31-yard scoring pass there from J.R. Hart to Sam Hornick. 21-0. The Mustangs trail with 8:09 to go in the second quarter. Let's get a nice return here to get this offense going here. First you start on special teams, but it's 4 yards into the end zone. And the Mustangs will start at the 20-yard line. But Fort Morgan, Brian, only has 1 first down in the game, and they're getting killed on time of possession. That's pretty obvious, trailing by 3 scores.
Yep, they've only run 11 plays so far in this first half.
And Conifer ran 16 on their first drive alone.
Right.
Fill up your cooler, gas up your car. Stubbs Gas and Oil, easy and convenient. Make them the only stop you need on your way to the big game. Stubbs Gas and Oil. Yeah, we got to have one positive play for the Mustangs. Get some momentum going in the second quarter to at least have something good to feel about by the time you get to the locker room. On 1st and 10 from the 20 with a 1 setback. That's Sadinana, 4 yards behind center. Wheatley looking to throw. Deep up the right sideline. Out there is Ortega, and it's off his hands at the 50. Boy, he should have made that catch. That was right on his fingertips. That was the same pattern that Ortega ran last week for a 47-yard touchdown. And you got to reel that in. That was a perfect pass there by Ortega, and Jacob just didn't make the play. Second down and 10 to go for Fort Morgan.
Yeah, it was right on his hands. But Briggs Wheatley looking good, though. He's putting the ball right where they need to be.
I mean, but that's something that Coach Davies mentioned during the Mustang Express. He's a little bit frustrated with some of the drops his team had last week when Wheatley was 4 out of 16. Now he's 1 out of 5 for 9 yards. And Ortega was nailed on the play when the Mustangs had it on the last drive, in and out of his hands. Second down and 10 for the 20. This will be an end around here, a little pitch to Ortega, and he's got a little bit of daylight. A flag is down to the 22. It's a gain of 2 as the tackle was made by Stephen Douglas, but now the Mustangs more than likely going to be going backwards as the flag was thrown in the middle of the line of scrimmage. And there's another one there near the sideline. Well, maybe that was the flag. Maybe I'm looking at the yellow cleats there worn by
like an illegal block
Gabe
in the
Vickers.
back.
Yep. Yeah, that's going to drive the Mustangs back towards the 10. Unless that penalty was committed before the 20-yard line, then it's going to be half the distance. I mean, what's crazy here, Brian, is that we played 16 minutes of football, and I don't think there's been 2 positive plays for Fort Morgan. And now the football's at the 8-yard line, second down and 22 for the Mustangs. 2 receivers split each side. In the backfield is David Sadinana. At the 8, Wheatley awaiting the snap. They got to get to the 30-yard line. They're coming in a blitz. Wheatley takes off with the football up the middle to the 15-yard line. Sidesteps a defender to the 20. Wheatley still on his feet, and he's grabbed from behind, then tackled at the 23. There's a positive play for the Mustangs. A gain of 16 for Briggs Wheatley.
Yeah, nice job there by Briggs.
Well, that's his first carry. The other one was that snap where he took a 2-yard loss. Maybe that's the way to go for Fort Morgan. 3rd down and 6 to go for the 24. 2 receivers again split each side. Sadinana the lone back. Wheatley will hand it off to Sadinana, who's trying to lunge his way to the 29. Man, he just picked up those feet and kept going. Short of a first down, a gain of 5. The Conifer tackler was Dagan Utrecht, a 6 foot, 160-pound senior. Mustangs are going to go for it here.
4th and 1 at the 29.
Yeah, I mean, they got to pick it up. 4th and 1. 6:42 to go, trailing 21-0. Ortega's in motion to the left. Wheatley takes us to his left, and he's going to be short. He's going to be stopped. He tried to stretch the football out, and he was grabbed around the ankles by Chad Gilman, a 6'3", 205-pound senior, but it looks like he's short. And Conifer's going to take over at the Mustang 30, just inside the Mustang 30.
That's tough.
Well, first of all, when you have a yard to go and you line up 4 yards behind, I mean, that's the play call. You got to make sure the blocking is there. And if the blocking is not there and the quarterback doesn't hit the seam, then that's the situation you're faced with. And now Conifer is less than 30 yards away from extending a 21-0 lead, and we still have 6.5 to go in quarter number 2 from Lakewood. Well, they go back to the passing game. They've got 2 receivers to the left and 1 to the right. Wagner and Donovan in the backfield. And play action to throw out over the middle is complete to Stephen Douglas, still on his feet. Breaks out of a tackle inside the 15 to the 12. First down once again for Conifer. It's a gain of 19. And there's just too much open underneath.
First down, mobile.
Yeah, they're just finding that the open spot there and setting down, and Hart's finding them, and they're catching it and taking off with it. There were some missed tackles on that one too, so Fort Morgan's going to have to buckle up here or buckle down.
From the 12-yard line, 1st and 10 for Conifer. Lining up on that left hash mark. 2 receivers split out each side. Wagner, the lone setback man in motion, is Hornick. He's got the football, and he's going to be hit in the backfield. That's a nice play. Really not in the backfield, along the sideline by Marquez, but it's behind the line of scrimmage. Right. It'll be a loss on the open field tackle there by Fernando Marquez, a sophomore. Back to the 16-yard line. 2nd down, and we'll call it 13. Off that carry from Hornick. Only a second of the game. Wagner is the running back to the right, rolling out to his right as J.R. Hart. He stops, he sets, he throws, back corner of the end zone, and is it going to be caught? Does he stay in the back of the end zone? Almost looked like interference. It's picked off. Intercepted. It is intercepted by Caden Edson. Edson picks it off in the back of the end zone. And the Mustangs take over at their own 20. Boy, that's a heck of a play by Edson. It almost looked like offensive pass interference because the receiver there in the back of the end zone had his hands on the Mustang defender. Right. And it didn't look like it was well played there by Edson.
Oh, excellent. Yeah, he had excellent position. There was about 3 guys right there around him, but Edson came down with it.
All right, let's see if the Mustangs can drive 80 yards down the field and get on the scoreboard. Yeah, Fort Morgan in the first half this year has been shut out each of the last 2 games.
Yep.
They did not score against Thomas Jefferson, or I should say 2 of the first 3 games. They didn't score against Brush. They scored 1 touchdown against Lutheran in the first half. 1st and 10 at their own 20. And now, is that going to be unsportsmanlike against Conifer?
Well, they've been over there talking to the coach over there, and somebody said something.
I don't get what's going on here. They've got a 21-0 lead. They're just costing themselves yardage here.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
They're going to move that football to the 35. I don't know why the argument is worth it when you have that big of a lead. That's the type of momentum the Mustangs need. That's the second unsportsmanlike they've got in the opening half. 1st and 10 from the 35. 2 receivers split out to the right. 1 setback. The quarterback, Briggs Wheatley, will keep it himself. Run it to the left side. Back to the middle. He's got the 40-yard line. Breaks out of a tackle. Back to the middle to the 50. Wheatley stops. Cuts it back to the 45. Briggs Wheatley to the 38-yard line. Briggs Wheatley with a gain of 27.
That was a positive we're looking for right here before the end of the first half with 5 minutes left.
Well, again, but, setting that up as an unsportsmanlike and a timeout called on the field by Conifer. That's a good timeout for the Lobos. If you've got a 3-touchdown lead, you want to keep that momentum going. But a 15-yard unsportsmanlike and a 27-yard pickup there by Briggs Wheatley, who's got 2 carries in this game, of one of 16 and one of 27 yards in his 1st and 10 at the Conifer 38-yard line. 2 touchdown passes in the game so far for J.R. Hart. Get a delicious treat, breakfast or lunch option at Willow Coffee and Bake Shop. It'll make the day better. 921 Edison Street in Brush, Willow Coffee and Bake Shop. The scoring started with Noah Wagner's 18-yard gallop. That gave Conifer the 6-0 lead, and they've just kept it going. 3 drives, 3 touchdowns, but then Caden Edson just picked off a pass in the back of the end zone. And Fort Morgan all of a sudden is in Conifer territory at the 38, 5 minutes, 2 seconds to go, 2nd quarter from Trailblazer Stadium in Lakewood. 2 receivers split out to the left. The lone receiver to the right is Adam Cardona. Lone setback is Sarinana. Man in motion to the right. That's Ortega. He's got the football. He stutter steps along the right sideline. 1st down, or close to a 1st down. Check that. He lunges to the 29, so a yard short. 2nd down and 1. But that's what Jacob's got to do, just cut it in upfield as soon as he can and not wait for all the blocking.
Yeah, you can't be jitterbugging back there because Conifer's going to catch up to you.
2nd down and a yard to go for the 29. 2 receivers out to the left. This might go to Sarinana on this play. Nope, Wheatley will take it. He's got a 1st down up the gut. He drives to the 25, picks up 4 yards in a play. The first contact was made by Trenton Jay, 5'11", 200-pound senior defensive end. Wheatley's last 4 carries have gone for a total of 47 yards. And Fort Morgan does receive the second half kickoff from the 25. There's the give to Sarinana. He's got nothing. He's going to be smothered in the backfield. You would have thought that was a run blitz, but that was a lineman who made the initial hit for Conifer. And he got in that backfield almost untouched. In fact, a couple of Lobos did. Well, but Gunnar Truby from his linebacker position was able to slide through. The loss of 2 takes it to the 27. Only the 2nd carry of the game for Sarinana with under 4 minutes to go in the 2nd. And we've got another timeout, 2nd timeout called by Conifer. Time to tell you that crystal clear ice, good for any drink any time of year. AC Ice. You can pick up AC Ice at any local grocery or a convenience store in Northeast Colorado today. Mustangs have a homecoming contest a week from yesterday. That's Friday night against Northfield. That'll be a 7 o'clock start right here on B106 as well as the Eastern Plains Sports Network. But right now Fort Morgan's got bigger issues to deal with, trailing 21-0, but in Conifer territory. And really, their quarterback, J.R. Hart, has done what a job throwing the ball. J.R. Hart, in this first half for Conifer, has thrown for 152 yards. So he's showing he's a solid senior quarterback for the Lobos.
Yeah, he looks good back there.
2nd down and 12 to go for Fort Morgan. And at the 27-yard line, Eddie DePriest checks out of the game. 2 receivers split each side. The lone setback just to the left is Sarinana. Back to throw is Wheatley out to his left. Complete to Marquez at the 13-yard line. He's got a 1st down. At around the 11, maybe the 12. It's a gain of 15.
Yeah, nice
pass. Will they give him the 11? Let's see. Yeah, they're going to give him the 11. Give him 16 yards there. 2nd pass completion for Briggs Wheatley. Excellent looking throw. At the 11, 1st and 10. Sarinana the lone setback. And Wheatley has the football. He's at the 10-yard line. Up the middle to the 5. He lunges to the 4. Boy, that's a nice fake on that supposed give to Sarinana, but Wheatley kept the football and he picks up 7. And now the Mustangs have finally figured out what they have to do offensively. You got to keep it in the hands of the sophomore Briggs Wheatley. On 2nd down and 3 yards to go for the Conifer 4. 3:15 to go 2nd quarter. Mustangs are looking to crack the scoreboard for the 2nd time in 4 games in the opening half. Out of the pistol, Langford is in the backfield. Resetting is Ernie Sandoval. Here's the gift to Langford. Up the middle, touchdown! Touchdown for K.O. Langford. 4 yards away. A nice hole up that left side, and the Mustangs are on the board. It's Conifer 21, Fort Morgan 6.
Nice job by that offensive line. Make that hole for him to get through there. That was a beautiful drive this time. Started off with that 15-yard penalty, and then it was all Fort Morgan. And
K.O. was virtually untouched, and now the extra point to be attempted by Adam Cardona off the hold of Caden Edson. And Edson was the one who really got the momentum going with an interception in the back of the end zone. And now we've got a flag.
Offside
Against Conifer. Well, that'll take the football to the 1, just past the 1. It's always tempted to go for 2 when you're a little bit closer to the goal line. But are they going to move the football? They just called offsides. Well, maybe not. I don't know. Is that a new thing? You don't move the football? Or did the back judge move? I don't know. Anyway, the extra point to be attempted by Cardona. There's the snap. The kick is up. And that is good. 2 minutes, 58 seconds to go, second quarter. It's a 30-second break. Conifer 21, Fort Morgan 7 on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. 7-play, 65-yard drive for the Mustangs, and they get into the end zone. 4-yard run by Cale Langford. That kick is going to be into the end zone. Backing up was Noah Wagner at the 2, but then decided to let it go. Well, that's a way to back up Conifer, starting at their own 20-yard line. They've only got 1 timeout, keep in mind. They took 2 timeouts here in the second quarter. So they've got to advance the ball a little bit quicker than normal if they want to get back into the end zone or back in the scoring column.
Big defensive stand here for the Mustangs. Need to keep them out of the end zone here in the last 2:58.
Under center is J.R. Hart. The backs are split. Handoff to Wagner. Jitterbugging his way to the left side, back towards the middle, held up by Schneider and some other Mustangs. At the 22, only a gain of 2 there for Noah Wagner. His previous 3 carries went for 46 yards, so they finally had to stop Wagner, he's been a force. He had 6 carries for 65 yards before that carry. 2nd down and 8 to go. A short 8, a long 7, just past the 22. Trips to the left, 1 receiver to the right. 3 yards behind center is Hart. Has the football, 2-step drop, throws it on the right flat, caught by Wagner. He snaps out of a tackle along the right side onto the 40. He's at the 50, Mustang territory, to the 34-yard line before he's finally tackled. They'll give him the 33. Another big gainer, 44 yards on the pickup there on the pass from J.R. Hart to Noah Wagner. And just like that, they're getting the momentum right back.
Yeah, it doesn't take long when they get that passing game going. He hit him out in the flat out there, and he was all by himself out there, and then he outran him.
There was one Mustang that could have made the play around the 40, but once he snapped out of that tackle, he kept going. From the 38, trips to the left. Back to throw is Hart. Pressure coming. Nick Norris can't get him. He stops. Going to get out of it again. Then he's thrown down by Norris at the 40. Boy, his knee was almost down, but finally the Mustangs record a sack there. And the original line of scrimmage was the 33, not the 38, but it's a loss of 7. Norris recording the sack, and Conifer takes their final timeout.
Yeah, nice job there by Nick Norris. He got back in there.
But I got to tell you, Hart is very shifty. I mean, he almost, on 2 occasions, he was able to avoid the sack, and then finally, Nick Norris was able to zero in on the senior quarterback for Conifer, and now it's 2nd down and 17 for the Lobos at the Mustang 40. I mean, this is it. These 97 seconds are critical for Fort Morgan. They're no stranger to double-digit deficits. It was 1 week ago they were down 19-0, and that was in the 3rd quarter. Right. But remember, they gave up a touchdown on the final play of the 2nd quarter when they were only down 6-0, and that was a pass out to a running back as well that went for 22 yards. This one 2 plays ago went for 44.
Yeah, they've got to quit giving up the big plays.
From the 40 of Fort Morgan, 21-7 Conifer, 1:37 to go before the break. 1 receiver out to the left, that's Gunnar Truby. 2 out to the right, 4 yards behind center is Hart. Deep drop, looking. He set up a screen over the middle. It's caught by Wagner at the 41. He's got the sideline to the 30. He gets a block to the 20-yard line, and then he's taken out of bounds by Caden Edson. Let's see it around the 10. Boy, another big play. Did they give him the 10, maybe the 9?
I think he's standing right on the 10.
It's a gain of 30. Another huge play, and then they just ran it to the opposite. Well, actually, it was towards the middle there for Wagner.
Yeah, he was wide open. Everybody came through on the rush, and the backs had dropped off for the coverage, and nobody there to cover him.
1st and goal at the 10 with 1:27 to go. Wagner, the lone setback to the right. Out of the gun is J.R. Hart. 3-step drop now, stopping, throwing over the middle. The pass is complete to Hornick at the 5. And then he lunges to the 3, maybe the 2. Gain of 8. Couple of Mustangs in on the tackle. Getting up is Chris Schneider off the bottom of the pile. That's the 16th pass attempt. And the opening half with the ball sitting Let's see, it looks like either the 2 or the 3. Well, I thought, maybe they didn't use that other. Fort Morgan's calling the timeout. All right. Yeah, Fort Morgan's first timeout. That makes sense.
Yeah, in the first 3 games, Hart was, he had a 71, almost a 72% completion rate.
I mean, he is taking apart the Mustangs defensively right now. Of course, when you're throwing underneath screens that go a long way, but you got to credit this quarterback. He's thrown for unofficially 230 yards, and he's 13 out of 16 with a pick, and about to reclaim a 21-point lead again, unless the Mustangs can do something defensively on this 2nd and goal at the 2-yard line with 1:02 to go in the second quarter. And they got down the field quickly.
Yeah. They started this drive at 2:58.
Even after the sack by Nick Norris. He had the big 30-yard play, then the 8-yard completion. Well, that ball's at the 3. That's closer to the 3 than the 2. 2nd down and goal at the 3. Naked backfield. I wonder if Hart's going to throw a quick slant or take off with the football himself. Hart, he's going to run right up the middle, but he's going to get very little. Nice penetration there by Langford. Clock is running. Got about half a yard. We'll call it the 2-yard line now. 3rd down and goal. Hart rolls out to his right. Stops, looks, throws, wide open, touchdown. To his left, wide open was Stephen Douglas. From 2 yards away, the 3rd touchdown pass for J.R. Hart. And now the lead is 20 for Conifer, 27-7. And that drive went very quickly. Another 80-yard drive for Conifer. Off the hold of Sam Hornick. He puts it down. The kick is up, and that one is inside the left upright. With 42.5 seconds to go, it's 28-7. I got to tell you, I'm stunned.
Yeah.
It's
they look. They've got a great offense going here. They've got that, as you said before, they're senior laden. They came back from last year, brought almost everybody back, and they look like it. They're a pretty proficient team.
Yeah, they know what they're doing with all those pieces that were juniors 1 year ago, and you can tell this is an offense that's been together. A team that's been together for quite a bit, and Conifer now with a 3-touchdown lead. And with the way Dixon's been kicking the football, Fort Morgan more than likely will start at their own 20. Fort Morgan has 2 timeouts remaining. You wonder if they'll try to score before the end of the opening half. Dixon line drives it. That's into the end zone. Oh, man, what a leg.
Yeah.
I don't know how wind-dated that is either.
Yeah, I don't think there's not much of a win, and if anything, I think it's into him.
We are just past the top of the hour here in Lakewood. I'm John Beltran with Brian Nickell. This is Morgan County's B106 KPRB. Brush Fort Morgan, where the Mustangs trail the Lobos 28-7, 42.5 seconds to go. We're also on B106.com at the 20-yard line. 3 touchdown passes for J.R. Hart, 2 of those to Sam Hornick, 1 to Stephen Douglas. Also an 18-yard run by Noah Wagner. Cale Langford has the lone touchdown for the Mustangs from 4 yards out. Sandoval resets. Wheatley is going to hand it off. And, boy, nothing. That might be Ortega there, back to the line of scrimmage. Just running laterally and back towards the middle. Couldn't do anything. No blocking there. First carry of the season for Frankie. 2nd down and 10 to go. Clock is running inside of 20 seconds.
They're not winning that offensive battle on that offensive line.
Well, I think they might let this clock run out. If they don't need to run a play, they're going to take it into the locker room, and that's going to be it. We've hit the halftime break. We've played 24 minutes of football with the score, Conifer 28, Fort Morgan 7. It's a 3-minute break on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Let's begin the second half as the Mustangs trail the Conifer Lobos 28-7 from Trailblazer Stadium in Lakewood. I'm John Beltran with Brian Nickell. Brian, let's take a look once again at your nickel package. We normally do it at the end of the game. We've done it during the middle of the game before at halftime, because if Fort Morgan is meeting any of the criteria, I'd be surprised at this point.
First one was the offense needs to score in the first half. They did get 1 score, but that was aided by a 15-yard penalty to start off the drive, and it's just been pretty anemic. Keep improving on the passing game. That is, it's
a work in progress.
It's a work in progress, that's for sure. Defensively, they got to pressure the quarterback. They did get after it. They sacked him once, but that's been it. They got to shut down Sam Hornick and Noah Wagner, and that hasn't happened on either account.
Or even Sam Donovan, for that matter, or the quarterback. I think you got J.R. heart in there at the number 5. It's been rough.
Yeah, they're a good-looking offense, that for sure. Their experience is showing.
Yep, Graham Dixon to kick it off, the left-footed kicker for Conifer, and everything he's booted with the exception of one has been in the end zone, and the one that didn't get to the end zone was fielded at the goal line. David Sadinana, and that looks like could be Frankie Ortega. Yep. Back at the 5-yard line for Fort Morgan. Need a nice return. Let's start it around the 30 at least and get something going for the Mustangs. This Dixon football is booted high and deep. Nope. About 4 or 5 yards into the end zone, and it's a new half for Fort Morgan. They need a new half, and they need a new performance based on what happened in the first half, giving up over 350 yards to the Conifer offense.
They've got to get something here. They've got to sustain a drive. They need to go down and get some points on the board if they want to try to stay in this game.
1st and 10 for the Mustangs at their own 20. Cardona and Ortega are the receivers to the left. One out to the right is Yanez, and the lone setback is David Sadinana out of the pistol. Boy, and Sadinana's like 9 yards behind the center. Wheatley is back to throw, out to his right, caught underneath by Ortega, makes a move to the inside of the 25. A flag is down. He is across the 30 to the 35. Gunnar Truby makes the tackle, but it looks like this one's coming back, Brian.
Yeah.
I think Adam Cardona is going to get called for something. I don't know if it's a hold or a block in the back, but they're clearly going to call that against Fort Morgan. A face mask. No. Oh, my bad. Okay. Well, I mean, the way he threw it, even Cardona was shaking his head.
Yeah.
Well, good. Well, the Mustangs need that break.
So that's what they need.
From the end of the run. So, well, is that just a 5-yarder? 15 yards in the pass. So, yeah, correction there. My mistake. 15 yards there to Ortega. Off the completion from Wheatley and a nice play underneath. 1st and 10 at the 40. Again from the pistol. Handoff. Sadinana up the gut. And he's hit behind the line of scrimmage. Might have got back to the line of scrimmage. But way too much penetration there by the Lobos. And a big stick there by Caleb Barker, a 6'1", 260-pounder. No gain. 2nd down and 10 to go for Fort Morgan.
Yeah, Fort Morgan's not winning that battle on the offensive line.
No, the guys, they're big.
Yeah.
I mean, look how big Ray Bellotti is, 6', 230.
Yep.
2nd and 10. Wheatley looking to throw. Lobs it up the right sideline, and it's tipped incomplete. Intended for Ortega at the 32 and deflected away by Hornick. But Ortega didn't have much separation and was running out of sideline. 3rd down and 10.
Yeah, he had to lead him out there. Had to lead him down the field a little more to try to get it to him.
3rd and 10 for the Mustangs. Leo Luna is the inside receiver now to the right, along with Malachi Yanez on the outside. Cardona and Ortega to the left. Again, Sadinana's the lone setback on 3rd and 10 for the 40. Fort Morgan in desperate need of a 1st down. Awaiting the snap. They're coming on a blitz. And Wheatley, quarterback draw. And he's going to get hit at the 41-yard line and maybe another half yard. That's it. Boy, that was read perfectly. Wheatley looking maybe for a flag. There was lots of contact on him. Boy, can you take a chance here if you're Fort Morgan and go for it on this 4th down and 8?
No, they're going to
put it away. Wheatley picked up 2. Yeah, that's a smart play. Frankie Ortega will come in and punt. Yeah, they don't have any recourse here. I mean, they could try to go for it, but there's really no need. If they don't pick it up, then Conifer has great field position once again. Snap is right there. Frankie gets it off. A gorgeous punt. Fair catch called by Douglas at the 21. Punt goes for 38 yards for Frankie Ortega. But now what can you do defensively to stop this team? They've scored on every drive but one, and that was an interception in the back of the end zone.
Yeah, they got to come up with something. They've got to. Well, they threw that perfect screen pass. You know, you think you're getting pressure on him, and they just dump it over him, and then he runs it for 30 yards.
But that's a good point, Brian. You have to account for the running backs.
Yeah.
You've got to account for them. 1st and 10. Just shy of the 21-yard line. In a pistol formation. Wagner, the setback, has the football running right side. He runs into a Mustang and then stumbles over him to the 26, maybe the 27. Had a lot of room on that right side. Gain of 5. Again, that's just too much if you're Fort Morgan. 2nd down and 5 to go on that run by Wagner. Wagner's up to 72 yards from the 26. Out of the shotgun, back to throw is hard. He dumps it left side, complete, underneath. 1st down to Hornick, has the left sideline to the 40. He tiptoes his way, and he's out of bounds at the 43, maybe the 44. And now a Mustang is down.
43-yard line.
It's a gain of 18. And again, Hornick was wide open underneath.
Yeah,
Mustang's not happy about a potential block there.
Yeah, calling a pick play, but
yeah, 1st and 10 at the 44.
Let's go!
Well, but that would have been downfield.
Right.
9:47 to go. The clock stops with the play ending out of bounds. 28-7 Conifer. And now we have a sideline warning against the Mustangs. Coach Davies now having a discussion with a side judge. All right, with, again, 9:47 to go in the third quarter, and Fort Morgan down 28-7 here to Conifer. When it comes to experience, Buildings by Design is the very best in the business, quality commitment. And experience makes Buildings by Design the only choice when it comes to your next project, Buildings by Design. Yeah, let's resume playing football here. 1st and 10 for Conifer at their own 44-yard line. Fort Morgan looking for some momentum, but they've been unable to establish much defensively. In motion to the right is Hornick, and back to throw. Middle of the pocket is Hornick. Deep over the middle, and it's complete. That's Hart to Donovan. Donovan at the 30-yard line, and then he breaks a tackle along the left sideline to the 10 to the 5. Touchdown, that was J.R. Hart, but there's a flag down that would go for 56 yards if it stands, but apparently this is going against Conifer. J.R. Hart knows it, and that will nullify the touchdown. It's coming back, and it's a hold against Conifer. Yeah. But even yet, Brian, there was some shoddy tackling there by Fort Morgan. Yeah. You got to make that play.
Yeah, not good tackling whatsoever. But that was a hold on that right offensive line on Nick Norris.
Oh, and they was well behind the line of scrimmage because it's going to set up a first down, and wow. Are they going to walk that back even further? It's at the I mean, how deep was that penalty? That's way back.
And they were at the 44, and he apparently had dropped back.
It's 1st and 33. I mean, when do you? Well, I mean, the penalty was committed so far behind the line of scrimmage that the penalty was committed 14 yards behind the line of scrimmage, 13 yards. So it's 1st and 33 for Conifer at their own 21, and Fort Morgan can't get too comfortable on defense. No. Just because they got to pick up 33 yards. Out of the pistol, Noah Wagner's the lone setback from the 21. Oh, it looked like there was movement there. Yeah, that's a illegal procedure penalty. Wagner gets the carry right up the middle to the 24, but he was moving. He was shifting before he got that handoff, and that's going to go 5 yards backwards. Now it'll be a 1st and 38. Well,
we got Conifer going in the right direction, but it doesn't take.
Oh, they're going to decline the penalty. Well, that's a good idea because at this point, 5 yards is not that much. It's a gain of 3 for Noah Wagner. 2nd down and 30 to go. They've got to get to the Mustang 46. There was a play, Brian, in 1999, Broncos-Vikings. Vikings had a 3rd and 37. Gave it on a draw play to Leroy Horde. He gained 53 yards, and Horde's a fullback. I heard that the other day on air. 2nd down and 30 from the 24. Back to throw is J.R. Hart. Heaves it deep up the right side. The pass is going to be incomplete. Broken up at the 50-yard line. Intended for Hornick, and he's down. He came down on his knee. He's going to be hurt. Yep. Boy, Hornick came down wrong. And let's see, maybe he's trying to get up. Broken up there. Monroe was out there along with a couple of other Mustangs.
I think it's his right leg. Oh, I think he's.
Well, did he cramp up? Anyway, it's 3rd and 30. But the way he landed, yeah, he's in temporary pain out there. 3rd down and 30 to go for Conifer. This will be a shot for Fort Morgan to stop this team. Colorado Plains Medical Center's experienced physicians and highly trained staff make your hometown hospital the place for expert quality care. Colorado Plains Medical Center, helping communities thrive. Well, if you don't stop them here, the game should be over. You got 3rd and 30 for Conifer, their own 24. 9 minutes, 6 seconds to go in the third. Conifer leads the game 28-7.
Nice defensive play out there. I believe that was Jacob Ortega that knocked that ball away.
Yep, it was Jacob. A 56-yard touchdown pass was nullified by a holding penalty, and Conifer now facing a 3rd down and 30. Lining up on the left hash mark. 2 receivers split each side. Hart with a 4-step drop. Pumps. Pressure coming. Sacked. Back at the 19-yard line. Nick Norris and Eddie DePriest. For a 6-yard loss. It'll be 4th and 36.
That's the pressure we've been looking for. But I think
right.
they were setting up for a deep pass. They were trying to get that all back in one play.
Well, if Fort Morgan can get the football here at about midfield, Graham Dixon, I believe, is also the punter on this team. He is. He's standing at his own 6-yard line. He's a great kicker. Let's see if he's as equally good a punter. Here comes the pressure. He gets it off towards the sideline. It'll bounce at the 44 of Conifer, and it's down right there. Gunnar Truby is able to down it back at the 43. Only a punt of about just over 20 yards.
44-yard first down.
So at the 43, Fort Morgan's in great field position.
Yeah, they need to take advantage of it. They've got to put this in the end zone.
Well, their first drive that they scored on, the only drive they scored on, that was a 65-yard march. Now they're at the 43, so this is, unless you go backwards, this is 4-down territory regardless.
Right.
Since you're already in Conifer's side of the field. With 8:17 to go in the third. Out of the pistol formation. Resetting is Ernie Sandoval, 1st and 10. And Briggs Wheatley rolls out to his right, still rolling, throws on the run, and it's going to be a diving reception by Jacob Ortega. A tremendous catch at the 26. It's a gain of 17. I tell you, Jacob had 2 passes he probably should have caught. That was a very difficult play to make. Are they going to say it bounced in? The officials are converging at the 26, but it was ruled a catch, and it is a catch. 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line. Boy, that's a nice reception by the senior Ortega. He's got 2 receptions now for 32 yards, and both in this quarter. Again from the pistol at the 26. Wheatley will hand it off to Sadinana, cutting it back to the left side, across the 25 still on his feet. He drives to the 22 for a pickup of 4. Gunnar Truby in on the hit, along with a couple of other Lobos. 2nd down and 6, and Sadinana's only carried the ball 4 times for 7 yards. Again, Fort Morgan's in no hurry here. They're back up to the line of scrimmage, but we're not even midway through the third quarter. 2nd down and 6 at the 22. Wheatley rolls out to his right, looking, still rolling, throws underneath, and it's caught. First down to Jacob Ortega. A sliding reception at the 10. It's a pickup of 13. Boy, nice little comeback right along the sideline there. And Wheatley's thrown 2 darts there to Ortega on this drive. It's 1st and goal just inside the 10. Wheatley now with Sadinana just off to his right. And Wheatley will keep it himself. Run to his right, breaks out of a tackle to the 5. And he's spun down at the goal line. Right at the 1. He's thrown down there by Eric Hartness. It's a gain of 9. 2nd down and goal to go just inside the 1. No, it's going to be Wheatley again this time, man. Every time he's run the ball, for the most part, he's been really good. 2nd down inside the 1. For Fort Morgan, Sadinana is the lone running back. Wheatley hands off to Sadinana. Touchdown! Left side, David Sadinana scores. The 2nd rushing touchdown for the Mustangs in this game. It's Conifer 28, Fort Morgan 13. And again, Brian playing with a short field. A 65-yard drive to begin. Fort Morgan scoring, and that was a 43-yard drive.
Yeah, they're taking advantage of the short drives.
Now the extra point to be attempted by Adam Cardona is up. He didn't get much of that football, and it is going to be short and off to the right. 6.5 to go, third quarter. Conifer 28, Fort Morgan 13. It's a 30-second break on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. As has been the case all year, the Fort Morgan Mustangs have started off the second half a lot better than they have the actual game. They were down 28-7 at the break, now 28-13 off the 1-yard scoring run from David Sadinana. Apparently an equipment issue with Jacob Ortega, so...
I think he's got blood on his elbow.
Oh, there you go. It is blood. Yep. So we'll have another kicker, Frankie Ortega, to kick it off. And back deep is Noah Wagner. And watch out, he's got game-breaking ability. You got to keep this momentum going. A line drive headed towards the sideline, backing up as Wagner, and it bounces into the end zone. That's a great job by Ortega. Yeah. And Conifer begins the drive at their own 20. They've been stopped only once, but it was the previous drive. Now can Fort Morgan stop Conifer straight up without them committing a miscue, because they helped out Fort Morgan on that previous drive.
Yep.
First and 10 at the 20. Under center this time is J.R. Hart. The backs are split. There's the handoff on the counter to Wagner. And then he dives to the 23, maybe the 24. Scooted it back right towards the middle. Andrew Monroe. Off the bottom of the pile. It's a gain of 4, though, for Wagner. Second down and 6 from the 24. 2 receivers split out each side. And this time Wagner has it running to his right, but he doesn't have much. He's driven back at the 25-yard line. Well, it's an excellent play by a couple of Mustangs, including Juan Chavez, a senior, and Nick Norris. Third down and 5 to go for the Lobos.
Well, this is the big down here. They need to stop him, hold him on this third down, and get the ball back.
Stop them straight up without them committing a penalty.
Yep.
Trips to the right. 5.5 to go in the third. Fort Morgan trails by 15. 3rd and 5 from Conifer at their own 25. This will be a gift to Wagner off the left side. He's got a first down. Cuts it back to the 40-yard line. Adds the left sideline to the 50 with speed to burn at the 30. At the 20, he's gone. 75 yards for Noah Wagner. And Conifer now leads 34-13.
He just bounced it outside, and he was gone.
Unreal. Well, just like that, Wagner has 12 carries for 155 yards, and half of his yards came on that one carry. Graham Dixon is 4 for 4 on extra points. He comes back in to make it a 22-point lead off the hold of Sam Hornick. Awaits the snap. It's there. It's down. The kick is up, and the kick is good. We have 5 minutes and 14 seconds remaining. Third quarter in Lakewood. Conifer 35, Fort Morgan 13 on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. A 3-play, 80-yard drive for Conifer. Noah Wagner from 75 yards away, and it's 35-13. Frankie Ortega has it at the 2, and the ball's off his chest. It's loose, and he tries to pick it up. He's got to get on top of it. It's still loose, and it's at the 13-yard line. Who's got the football? Frankie never secured it. Conifer's got it.
Yep.
Conifer has got it. Frankie tried to run with the football and catch it at the same time. It bounced forward off his chest about 7 or 8 yards and then tried to pick it up again. And then all of a sudden the Lobos converged in on the sophomore Ortega, and Conifer is 13 yards away for the end zone.
Just when you think Fort Morgan has that momentum going in their direction after a nice touchdown drive, they have lost it all.
First and 10 for the Lobos at the Mustang 13-yard line. Operating from the pistol here. Hand off to Wagner, running to his left, bounces it to the outside. He fumbles, and the Mustangs have got it. Fernando Marquez has it at the 11. Off the Wagner fumble. That's a great play there, and Marquez, a nice job of pouncing on that football and staying in bounds because that ball was rolling out of bounds.
Yeah, he did a nice job on the strip and then on corral on that ball, keep it in bounds.
It'll be at the 12. Looks like it's at the 12 for Fort Morgan. All right, well, maybe not. Well, he's standing there. I'll call it the 12 for now. First and 10, yep, that's where they have it. Just over 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Pistol formation. The one setback is Frankie Ortega. He's got the football running to his right and then cuts it back to the 15-yard line, a gain of 3. Gunnar Truby was in on the hit for Conifer. Second down and 7.
2-yard gain. 3-yard gain. Second down.
A little running room there, but not a lot.
Well, we saw that against Thomas Jefferson. You get the running room, then it closes quickly. Second down and 7 at the 15-yard line. Fort Morgan trails 35-13 in the third. Trips to the left. One receiver out to the right. Briggs Wheatley, play action, looks to throw. To his right, complete underneath the Yanez. He's got a first down along the right sideline at about the 25, maybe the 26-yard line. That's all you need of your Fort Morgan. Make it simple, and it's a gain of 11. Well, make it 12. Give him the 27. Briggs Wheatley settling in here. And there's Briggs Wheatley with a football right up the middle. Now he's got the right sideline to the 50. Puts it back inside to the 40. He gets a block to the 30 off the direct snap. He is gone. Wheatley goes the distance, 63 yards for Briggs Wheatley. And Fort Morgan on a 1st and 10 play makes it a touchdown. It's 35-19.
That's what they're looking for. That was get a little momentum back anyway, but that was a nice play. Got some good blocking downfield to spring him the rest of the way.
Wheatley has now ran for over 100 yards in the game, well over 100. Now the extra point to be attempted by Cardona. Edson puts it down. The kick is up. That looks good from here. That is good. 4 minutes and 5 seconds remaining, third quarter. It is Conifer 35, Fort Morgan 20. A 30-second break on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Jacob Ortega to kick it off for Fort Morgan. 63-yard gallop by Briggs Wheatley. It's a line drive. It'll be fielded at the 2 by Wagner. Straight to the 15, running to his left to the 25. And he's thrown down at about the 28-yard line. An excellent open field tackle by Leo Luna.
Wagner returning up to about the 27.
And now, again, the question is, how do you stop Conifer? They have stopped themselves, really. Fort Morgan
First down.
has been able to do very little defensively. The ball's at the 29-yard line. Fort Morgan defense looking for some solution, whether it's the running game or the passing game. J.R. Hart's thrown for, let's see, he's over. He was at about 235 yards at halftime passing. So it's not just a running game. 2 receivers out to the right. Backs are split under center. No jump there. There's the handoff to Donovan running to his right across the 30. They've got the 31, that's it, K.O. Langford. And also in around the football for Fort Morgan. Was that, maybe Juan Chavez. Second down, we'll call it 8 to go. Just shy of the 31-yard line. I'll just limit them right there. Keep them right there. 2 receivers out to the right again, 1 to the left. The lone setback this time is Noah Wagner from the gun. J.R. Hart, 3-step drop pass out in the left, flat, caught by Wagner, and then he falls. He slipped. He tried to make a cut on Marquez, and he went down to the turf at the 32. So it's only a gain of 1. Fernando was there in position, but when he tried to make a cut on the defensive back, he went straight to the turf. Third reception for Wagner.
Yeah, another opportunity here for this Mustang defense to try to get the ball back.
Well, Wagner went 75 yards on the previous drive on a 3rd and 5. Now it's a 3rd and 7. And it's near the same point of the field. It's at the 32, though, a little bit further and closer to the goal line. 3rd down and 2. Wagner is to Hart's right. 2 receivers split each side. 5-step drop, middle of the pocket, rolls out to his left, sets, throws deep over the middle. There's a receiver out there. It's incomplete. That was broken up beautifully by Christopher Schneider at the 31. He got his left hand in there on the pass intended for Sam Hornick. I mean, that was an outstanding defensive play because he got the left hand and tackled him at the same time. The timing could not have been any better. It's 4th and 7, and Conifer has to punt.
Yeah, he had to catch up just a little bit. I think that pass was just a little underthrown.
Well, it's one of the best plays Fort Morgan has made in this game. That was tremendous. Now Dixon, high snap. Here comes some pressure, and he gets it off high end over end towards the Mustangs sideline, and it goes out of bounds in Fort Morgan territory. That looked like around the 39-yard line, maybe the 37. Well,
out of bounds.
This could be very interesting if the Mustangs can score right here. And they could make it a one-possession game. Well, Wheatley just had the ball at the 37, the same exact spot when he won 63. He's got 126 yards on 9 carries, and half of them came on that touchdown. 1st and 10, Fort Morgan at their own 37. Briggs Wheatley, he will run to his left, and he's hit hard at the 39, might have got the 40. But took a pounding there from Sam Donovan. A gain of 3, but that's not a bad pickup there for the sophomore. 2nd down and 7 to go for the Mustangs.
Big hit. We've seen him take some big hits this year so far.
Cardona's now one of the receivers out to the left. 2 to the right and 2 to the left. The lone setback is David Sadinana. On 2nd down and 7 from the 40-yard line, Wheatley hands it off to Sadinana up the middle with a big hole to the 45. 3rd down and 2. Gunnar Truby makes the tackle for Conifer. 90 seconds to go in the third. Conifer 35, Fort Morgan 20. 4 down territory for the Mustangs. On 3rd down and 2 from the 45. Wheatley takes it himself, breaks out of a tackle, and he's going to be short of a first down. He lunged to the 46, maybe 45 and a half. Yeah, he'll still have about a yard and a half to pick up. So it's going to be 4th and a short 2. Just past the 45. The Mustangs, with under a minute to go in the third, will go for it.
See if Wheatley takes it himself.
Well, he did in the first half and fell short on a 3rd and 1. He's under center this time. And what do we have? Do we have a timeout called?
Called it through a flag. The back judge threw it. I don't know.
Illegal procedure. A false start somewhere against Fort Morgan. Does that change the strategy? As the Mustangs are now on their own side of the field just past the 40. Well, now it's at the 40. 4th and 7. They're still going to go for it. 43 seconds to go in the third quarter, down by 15. Wheatley now in the shotgun, the running back to his left on 4th down and 7. Wheatley with a hard count. Looks over towards the sideline. There was some movement on the Conifer side, but they did not cross the line of scrimmage. On 4th down and 7. Wheatley patiently awaiting the snap. There it is. Wheatley, play action, looking to throw towards the left sideline. Cardona's out there, and it's off his hands, incomplete. Cardona had it at the 31-yard line, but it got a little bit too close to his chest, and the Mustangs turned it over on downs. That should have been caught, Brian.
Yeah, it should have been like a kid off if he's maybe off his shoulder pad or something. But these are passes that have to be caught if they want to play on more Saturday afternoons here coming up in November. So, but that's even to get back into this game, you've got to catch these passes.
Yeah, that's a really good throw there, an excellent throw by Wheatley. And now Conifer takes over at the Mustang 40 with 15 seconds to go, third quarter. 1st and 10 at the 40. Running back to his left, 4 yards behind center, J.R. Hart. Passes out in the right flat, but it's over the right hand of Sam Hornick.
It's a backwards pass.
Yeah, they're going to call that a lateral.
Yep.
And that means they're going to lose about 5 yards, maybe 6 yards back to the 46-yard line. So that will go really as a pitch, or like you said, a lateral.
Yep.
So no incomplete pass, but a loss of 6 yards with 10.9 seconds to go in the third. Yeah, that was on Hart. That was an errant throw.
Yeah.
It was intended to be a pass, at least either right in front of the receiver or laterally to him, but he threw it behind him.
Yep.
And over that right hand. 2nd down and 16 for Conifer at the Fort Morgan 46. Wagner is to Hart's left. Back to throw, looking to his left. He's open underneath, but it's off his hands, incomplete. K.O. Langford was pursuing the Conifer running back. 3rd down and 16. J.R. Hart had some mustard on that one.
They don't look like the same team we saw in that first half, although they have put some points on the board. They're just not as crisp as they were to start out.
No, they had that one big play, though, and sometimes in football it only takes a big play, which is why Fort Morgan, even though they have a couple of touchdowns in this quarter and have outscored Conifer, they still trail by 15. 3rd down and 16, Conifer at their own 44. The Mustangs have 6 up at the line of scrimmage. Wagner is in motion to the right, looking to throw his Hart. He throws it towards the right sideline, incomplete. A diving attempt at the 32-yard line by Sam Hornick. And Conifer, with 4.1 seconds to go, has to punt. I got to tell you, Brian, I am stunned that they didn't run the football once, so at least Conifer would have the ball to begin the fourth quarter, but now the Mustangs will have the ball to begin the final 12 minutes of this game. Graham Dixon, he has been a weapon on special teams, a tremendous kicker, and he had one nice punt earlier in this game.
5'10", 140.
Jacob Ortega standing at his own 6-yard line for the Mustangs. Perfect snap. Runs to his left, but it's just one of those rugby type of kicks, and Ortega calls for a fair catch. He's got it at the 16, maybe 17-yard line. That's the end of the third quarter. With the score, Conifer 30, Fort Morgan 20, 35, Fort Morgan 20. It's a 1-minute break on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. I'm John Beltran with Brian Nickell. Herrick Curtis is our sound engineer and producer as the Mustangs trail the Conifer Lobos in Lakewood 35-20 as we head to the fourth quarter. 1st and 10 for the Mustangs with a football at the 16-yard line. I don't know why it says the 22 on the board, but that ball at the, well, make it a little bit further, 17-yard line for Fort Morgan. Briggs Wheatley awaits the snap. Play action, rolls out to his right, and he throws towards the sideline. Complete, and a first down, and then the ball is fumbled. And then I think a Mustang landed on it. It was fumbled there by Malachi Yanez and pounced on by Jacob Ortega. So give him a 23-yard reception, and then the 3 yards of the ball rolling forward. But you got to, hang on to that football. It's a hurry-up offense for the Mustangs. 1st and 10 for Fort Morgan at the 43-yard line. Wheatley will hand it off to Sadinana, taking it to the outside, breaks out of a tackle to the 45, and then he's going to run into a Lobo. First down in Conifer territory at the 44. It's a gain of 13 for David Sadinana. Mustangs right back up to the line of scrimmage.
Timeout.
Yeah, Conifer wants to slow this game down. I don't blame him.
Yep.
Yeah, Fort Morgan is coming to play on this drive. They're only down by 15. There's no reason to think the Mustangs cannot come back with the defense playing much better in the third quarter.
Yeah, the offense is on the move right now.
And they are in Conifer territory.
2 straight first down plays.
Like a good neighbor, Greg Mullen and his team at State Farm Insurance are there to make the insurance world easy for you. 842-4555. Greg Mullen at State Farm Insurance. Bee-Diggers did lose last night to Ray 35-21. They're 1-3. The Mustangs are trying to improve to 3-1, but they have to rally from a 15-point hole. They were down 21-0, and at one point down by 22 moments ago before Briggs Wheatley took off on a 63-yard scoring run. And now it's 1st and 10 for the Mustangs at the Conifer 44. And 2 plays have produced big-time yardage for the Mustangs. On that left hash mark towards the Fort Morgan sideline. With 1 setback, that is Frankie Ortega. From the 44, play action. Briggs Wheatley looks to throw deep up the right side, incomplete. A diving attempt at the 10-yard line by Fernando Marquez. 2nd down. They're not wasting time. They're going for it.
Yep.
Briggs Wheatley has thrown for 96 yards in this game. Let's see if that's accurate. Might be more than that. Check that, 105 yards. And 7 of 14 for 105 yards unofficially. And keep in mind that Fort Morgan only had 99 yards of total offense at the break, and Conifer had 357. But that margin has been closed quite a bit. 2nd down and 10 for Fort Morgan at the Conifer 44. Out of the pistol, awaiting the snap, resetting is Sandoval. Briggs Wheatley, again the play action, roll out to his right. He'll throw underneath. The pass is caught by Marquez along the right sideline, close to a 1st down, near the 34-yard line of Conifer. I love the way that pattern's been working, Brian.
Yeah. He rolls out to that right and hits his receiver out there in the flat.
Boy, what's going on here? You can't mark it beyond there. It's a gain of 11.
First down.
Yeah, they got to do something with those yard markers there. It's a 1st down at the 33, but they had the yard markers were all out of whack. Trips to the left on 1st and 10. Again from the pistol.
Oh.
Wheatley then hands it off to Ortega, and then he was smothered. There, boy, I don't think there was any blocking there because there were 2 Lobos that came unblocked.
He almost took the handoff.
Well, Esau Cloutier. So loss of 2, back to the 35, 2nd down and 12.
Yeah, about the 36.
Yep. That's where they're going to mark it. They'll call it 2nd and 13. 10.5 to go in the game. Conifer 35, Fort Morgan 20, but the Mustangs are driving. 1 setback, trips to the left. Briggs Wheatley looks to throw, back to throw, over the middle. There's nobody there. Leo Luna in the middle of the field. Wheatley went down.
Yeah.
3rd down and 13.
I don't know if Leo cut off his route.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, because he was open. But it was well overthrown, but I don't think that's on the quarterback. 3rd down and 13 for Fort Morgan. Do they need an extra lineman or no? No, they're good. They're just looking over here. From the 36-yard line. Back to throw is Wheatley. Pressure coming. Throws out to his left. It's caught by Ortega at the 30. Makes a cut to the 25. Ortega still on his feet, and he's spun down at about the 23-yard line. That is very close to a 1st down. He's going to fall just short. Fourth and, half a yard to go.
Yep.
It says third on the board. I believe it's fourth.
Yep.
Yep. They might even come out. Are they going to measure or no? There's an equipment issue. Well, the gain is going to be 12 yards just inside the 24. So pickup officially of 12. On fourth down, under center is Wheatley. Wheatley hands it off Sandoval. And, boy, he's right at the stick. That's going to be very, very close. That's going to be extremely close.
Yeah, they got him marked at the 23, so that's where they needed to get to. So we'll see where they gave it to him.
First down for the Mustangs. Ernie Sandoval picks it up at the 23-yard line. 9:44 to go in the game. Fort Morgan needs a touchdown and at least an extra point to make this a one-possession game. 3 receivers out to the right, 1 to the left. The lone setback is Frankie Ortega. Briggs Wheatley on the play action. He hits as he throws. It's incomplete. Yeah, he was hit badly and hard as he threw. There's nothing Wheatley could do there. Yeah, you got to have some protection. That's the second time that we've seen that same Lobo come through unimpeded in Cloutier.
Yeah,
second down and 10 from the 23. Yeah, he's had a field day on this drive. Again, Briggs Wheatley with Frankie Ortega to his right on second down and 10 in Conifer territory. Wheatley back to throw, pressure coming, lobs it up the left side. Fernando Marquez incomplete at about the 2-yard line. Well, that was not a bad throw with all the pressure, and Wheatley took another shot. Somebody's got to pick that guy up.
Yeah, they're getting through there way too easy.
19th pass attempt for the sophomore. Either that or he's got to get rid of it even quicker, which is not easy to do. He's getting rid of it pretty quickly. Leo Luna checks out. 2 receivers out to the right, 1 to the left, out of the pistol on third down and 10 for the Conifer 23-yard line. Wheatley is back to throw, throws it out to his right. It is caught underneath by Ortega, makes a move to the 10-yard line, back to the 5. He's gone! Touchdown for Ortega, but there's a flag down. Let's see if it counts. It would have been a 23-yard touchdown, but let's see what the flag is all about.
Ernie Sandoval is upset about something. I don't know if it was...
Well, the penalty was downfield. It is a block in the back against Fort Morgan. Well, they're going to give him some positive yardage because it was downfield, but it'll be a third and probably close to 15 or 16 now. It's going to be walked off from the 17-yard line. So it's third and 14. Well, here we go. Third and 14 from the 27. Need a big play here for Fort Morgan. And the clock is reading 9 minutes and 25 seconds to go. From the pistol formation, Sandoval resets. Briggs Wheatley is going to roll out to his left. He'll throw along the left side. Ortega's out there. Complete! Or did he? Nope. Incomplete in his hands, in and out of his hands. Oh, it was in his hands again. What a pass, and it was thrown back shoulder to Wheatley. And did he actually catch the ball?
I thought he had caught it, but...
Yeah, I don't know what the ruling was, whether he actually did not catch it or they're going to rule he was out of bounds, but nonetheless, it's fourth down and 14 to go from the 27. Man, Wheatley's thrown some tremendous passes in this game.
Yep.
And the Mustangs are not happy about that. They thought that should have been a legitimate reception. That would have been a first and goal. Instead, it's a fourth down and 14 to go from the 27. They've got to get to the Conifer 13. 9:19 to go, fourth quarter. Conifer leads the game 35-20. Wheatley, deep drop, looks, throws over the middle, and it's tipped, incomplete. Intended at the 9-yard line for Jacob Ortega, and Conifer takes over.
Yeah, that was tough. It took almost 3 minutes off the clock and came up empty, but I don't know what that last play on that, excuse me, if it was I thought he had come down with it and then they knocked it loose, but whatever it was an incomplete pass.
Well, Conifer, when they had the ball on their previous drive, did not take any time off the clock. That might change now with the ball at their own 27-yard line, 9:14 to go in the game, and they lead Fort Morgan in Lakewood 35-20 with a back split. Wagner and Donovan. Under center is Hart. Handoff Donovan. Back to the middle to the 30-yard line. He stiff arms a defender to the 33. And then he's held back and driven back for a gain of 6. 2nd down and 4 to go. That was Donovan's 7th carry of the game. 42 yards. A couple of Mustangs in on the play, including the junior K.O. Langford. But again, that's too much for Fort Morgan defensively because they'll just keep running the football. On 2nd down and a long 3 to go for Conifer, approaching the 8:40 mark. That football's resting at the 33-yard line. Again, Hart will go under center. The running backs are split. Handoff. No, he'll keep it himself. Back up the middle. He's not going to get there. He's to the 35. I don't know if that was a broken play. But Hart still able to get 2 yards, getting up off the bottom of the pile.
Yeah, it almost
Fort Morgan looks like DePriest. 3rd and 1. Sorry about that.
Almost looked like it was a busted play.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, I think it was a busted play. That didn't look like a design there. So it's 3rd down and 2, actually. 3rd and 2 to go for Conifer at the 35. Again, same formation. 2 receivers out to the right, 1 to the left. Mustangs nearly jumped. Got to watch out there and watch the football. And now, do we have a Conifer timeout? And we do. With 7:40 to go in the game, we'll keep it right here. Conifer scored the first 3 touchdowns of the game, including a 47 and 31-yard touchdown on passes, I should say. Receptions there by Sam Hornick. Noah Wagner got it started off with an 18-yard scoring run. The Mustangs have a 4-yard touchdown run from K.O. Langford, a 1-yard score by David Sadinana, and then a 63-yard run by Briggs Wheatley. Wheatley has run for over 100 yards and passed for over 100 yards. In fact, on the ground, Briggs has got 129 yards unofficially on 11 carries. All right, here we go. 3rd down and 2 to go for Conifer at their own 35. You got to come up with a special play now if you're Fort Morgan on this 3rd and short. Will Noah Wagner get the football? Nope, it'll be a counter. 1st down. That's Sam Donovan along the right sideline to the 40. Marquez knocks him out of bounds at the 30. They'll give him the 29. Gain of 36 for Sam Donovan.
Yeah, that was a killer there.
He's at 78 yards on 8 carries. Well, now you have to come up with a turnover because I can imagine if they don't score a touchdown here, Dixon is probably a pretty good field goal kicker based on what we've seen out of his left leg today so far. 1st down and 10, Conifer at the 29-yard line of Fort Morgan, leading the Mustangs by 15 with just over 7.5 to go in the game. Hart remains under center. He'll give it off to Donovan right up the gut, and he's still on his feet, and he drives across the 25 to the 23. Well, there's some activity at the bottom of the pile there. But the gain is close to 6. 2nd down and 4.
Gain of 6 yards. 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if Fort Morgan's trying to tackle the football, trying to rip it out of there, but they need to wrap up the carrier and get him down on the ground.
Well, it's a 2-possession game now. Even if they kick a field goal, all they need is a field goal to make it a 3-possession game, so you might have to take a chance here if you're the Mustangs defensively. 2nd down and 4 to go for the Mustang 23. High snap, and there's the handoff to Wagner. He's hit in the backfield by K.O. Langford. Boy, Langford came through that seam beautifully. And the junior threw him for a 3-yard loss to the 26. 3rd and now 6 to go, 6 or 7 now.
Yeah, the bad snap just set that into timing was completely off.
3rd and 7 from the 26. 2 more plays like that. But this would be, if they don't get another yard, be about a 43-yard field goal. From the 26 on 3rd down and 7. Out of the pistol, Wagner the lone setback, 3 yards behind center. There's the option. Here comes the reverse the other way to Hornick. He gets around a Mustang defender. He's got the left sideline, and he's got a 1st down as running out of bounds as Hornick inside the 20 towards the 19, but I believe that's enough. Or did he just fall shy? He might be marked back at the 20. Either way, it's either going to be it's a 4th and 1.
Oh, yep.
Yep, it's 4th and less than a yard to go on the 6-yard pickup. Well, they're going to go for it. That's pretty obvious. With under 6 minutes to go in the game. 4th and less than a yard at the Fort Morgan 20. Donovan and Wagner are split. Hart under center. Hart, handoff. Wagner, right side. He's driven back. He did not get there. That's a big play. Nick Norris's body went flying. and the Mustangs take over on downs. It's a loss of a yard.
Big play there by the Mustang defensive line.
Wow.
Man, oh man.
I'm surprised they ran on to Norris's side.
Yeah.
Mustangs will have it just past their own 20. Now it's time to make this interesting. Let's see if they're going to put this up. Remember, you still have all your timeouts. You're down by 15, 5:54 to go in the game. And you have trips to the left. If they can just break off a big play, a lot of underneath passes have been successful, but they haven't had that big one like last week when they had the 47-yarder. 1st and 10. Wheatley 4 yards behind center. It's going to throw it out in the left flat. It's going to be caught over there and trying to make a move back to the inside.
Dropped it.
And the ball is on the ground and it's loose. And do the Mustangs have? Was that caught by Yanez, I believe, initially? Who caught that initially? Was it?
I believe. I thought it was
Malachi. And then Ortega might have jumped on it, but it's going to be a gain of 6 or 7 yards for Fort Morgan. But you got to hang on to the football. I mean, that goes without saying, even though I just did. Gain of 7.
I think it was Jacob that initially caught it and then fumbled it.
All right. And I missed it on the, well, that's his 6th reception then. 2nd down and 3 to go from the 27. Again, Wheatley awaiting the snap. 4-step drop, throws, and the pass is tipped up, and it's incomplete. Well, another pass that's got to be caught there, and that was Malachi at about the 35-yard line. Again, this is something that Coach Davies pointed out before the game. The frustration on some of these drop balls. 3rd down and 3. Trips to the left. Luna, Ortega, Cardona. Marquez is the lone receiver to the right. On 3rd down and 3, there's the give and nothing. Stuffed behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 1 is David Sadinana. Now they're going to have to go for it deep in their own territory on 4th down and close to 5.
Yep.
4th down.
And that ball's barely beyond the 25, so it's 4th down and a short 5. Well, this is the game right here. Any chance you have. They're coming on a blitz. Wheatley to throw. Wheatley runs to his right. He's going to take off with the football. He's going to cut it to the inside. 1st down across the 30. Wheatley with a cut to the inside. At the 40, a flag is down. And let's see if that's going to stand up. But Briggs Wheatley with a pickup of 15.
Yeah, 3 flags out on the field.
Well, we know that it was downfield. Oh, there's a flag also at the 22-yard line, so these could be separate penalties. These could be offsetting penalties if the one downfield was against Conifer, which would set up another 4th and 5 with 4:45 to go in the game. The officials are discussing both flags. It's undoubtedly these are separate penalties considering the distance between the flags. There's 3 on the field. Conifer leads Fort Morgan 35-20 with 4:45 to go in the game, and the officials are converging. Now the field mic has not worked at all. I don't know if the official knows that, but we'll just try to read the signal. One is a hold against Fort Morgan and a block in the back against Fort Morgan. Personal foul face mask against Conifer. Offsetting penalties. Will have a 4th and 5. Once again coming up at the 25. So the Mustangs had 2 holding penalties, but 2 does not. They offset whether it's 3 penalties or 1, as long as both teams commit a minimum of 1 penalty. Well, here we go again. 4th down and 5 for the Mustangs at their own 25. Again, this is the game. You don't pick up a 1st down here, any chance of winning here is basically eliminated. Briggs Wheatley has the football, rolls out to his left, throws along the sideline, incomplete. Jacob Ortega was defended, but it was airmailed to Ortega at the 44-yard line. You know, if he throws that underneath to Ortega or lower, that could have been interference.
Right.
But when it was thrown that high over his head, there was no chance there, and Conifer has the ball. Briggs Wheatley has attempted 25 passes in this game.
Well, it's coming along. As you said, it's a work in progress, and it's looking better. It's just not near enough yet.
11 of 25 for 130 yards for Wheatley. And now this is essentially Conifer's game with a football at the 26-yard line. 4:25 to go. They're in Morgan territory, 1st and 10. Receivers split out each side. Wagner, the lone setback. Hart will hand it off to Wagner, running behind his left guard, and he drives inside the 20. Check that, inside the, or to the 20, I should say. Gain of about 6. 2nd down and 4 to go. Noah Wagner, let's see, totaling it up 158 yards on 16 carries. Under 4 minutes to go in Lakewood. At the 20 now. Sam Donovan joins Wagner with a split backfield, and Hart is under center. Donovan with a handoff, swinging it to the outside, trying to get around. A defender cannot. Andrew Monroe makes the tackle. He's able to get maybe a yard or two to the 18s. 3rd down and 2 to go.
I thought he was going to break it out. I thought he had the outside edge there, but
well, Monroe
cut him down.
If Monroe doesn't make the tackle, that might have been a score there for Conifer.
Yeah.
3rd down and 2 yards to go for the Mustang 18. But again, the clock is ticking. 3 minutes and 12 seconds and running. Receivers split each side, but you have to assume this would be just a give to Wagner. Wagner to Hart's right. And another flag.
Delay
Goes
game.
flying for the back judge, yep. Now this will set up a 3rd and 7 for Conifer. Well, we were hoping for a shorter football game. Not happening today. This is hitting the 2.5-hour mark. A proud supporter of all the area athletes, Mr. D's Ace Home Center, with all your home, farm, and ranch supplies. 3 locations, Sterling, Brush, and Fort Morgan. 3rd and 7. Handoff. Wagner tries to swing it to the left side, and he cannot get around. And Marquez, but there's a flag down, and now there's another flag down. Fernando Marquez brought him down, but let's see who this penalty is against. Right at the line of scrimmage is where he brought him down, but now
I'm not sure that there's not 2 penalties, because there was one over here. I saw Caden Edson getting up off the ground pretty groggy. I don't know if there was a blindside block over here or what.
Yeah, I think there was a block in the back. But there might be one against Fort Morgan at the point of contact, either a horse collar or a face mask, but we'll see. I don't want to assume that right now, but it was thrown right there at the point of contact, at least that other flag. 3rd and 7 was the down and distance going in. It will be a personal foul against Conifer. Well, I wonder if Wagner is going to go both sides on the personal foul or just one. Well, that's a secondary flag. Okay, blindside block. Okay, well,
okay.
Yeah, that's the block in the back. That's crazy, Brian, that you had these. That was just one penalty because you had all these flags there.
Yeah.
Well, good news for the Mustangs there, because now you're facing a 3rd down and 22 to go from the 38. And an excellent open field tackle by Fernando Marquez. Let's not forget about that. That was a great play by the sophomore. So from the 38. By the way, that was Wagner's 17th carry. Could be a passing situation. 2:39, the clock is running. Trips to the right. Deep drop for Hart. Pressure coming. Sacked! Oh, Eddie DePriest gets him at the 44. The Mustangs call a timeout. Ty Davies calls a timeout. And DePriest threw him to the ground for a 5-yard loss.
Big hit there by Eddie DePriest.
Yeah,
Hart had no idea he was coming. He came in from his backside.
Let me tell you something right now. I hate even saying this, which is why the NFL drives me crazy. That might have been a penalty in the NFL because he drove him right into the ground. Almost, I don't know if he was right on top of him, but that was a heck of a hit there by DePriest.
Yeah.
That's why this is a more pure form of football. You make a form tackle, you throw him down, and now it's a 4th down and about 27 to go. They're at the 43. They've got to get to the Fort Morgan 16. Conifer might just elect to punt because then you put Fort Morgan deep in your own territory. As opposed to going for it, it wouldn't even, if they pick up 10 or 15 yards, that's not going to be as good as a punt. So Conifer would be probably better off trying to punt this away. 4th down and 27 to go, and here's Dixon. He will punt it away. Well, what else is new? Fort Morgan has played a better second half than first half.
Yep.
And it's frustrating because you should be playing all 4 quarters.
Oh,
High snap, and the ball is loose at the 31-yard line. Dixon's going to pick it up and run with the football. He breaks a couple of tackles, and now he's down at the 40. We're not done yet. And there's a late flag. Oh, boy, somebody said something, but let's see. It's an unsportsmanlike conduct. Now the question is, who is the penalty against? Fort Morgan, quite frankly, has been pretty disciplined in this game when it comes to penalties. Delay of game against Conifer. Well, I guess 5-yard penalty. I think it was he got rid of the football and didn't give it to the official.
Oh, okay.
So it's not unsportsmanlike, but Fort Morgan has it at the 35-yard line with 2:20 to go in the game. 1st and 10 for the Mustangs. They're going to be throwing the football on every play. Well, it took that type of break for them to have a chance. The field just flipped with a bad snap. From the 35-yard line of Conifer, Briggs Wheatley, deep drop, looks to throw. Heaves it up the left side. The pass is going to be incomplete. Broken up at the 21-yard line. Kind of slipped out of Wheatley's hand.
Yep.
Intended for Jacob Ortega. Yeah, didn't get the grip on the football. That was the 26th pass attempt unofficially for Briggs Wheatley. It's thrown for just over 100 yards. We have 2 minutes and 15 seconds to go in the game. Fort Morgan has 2 timeouts remaining. On 2nd down and 10 to go. 1 setback. They're coming on a blitz. Wheatley takes off right up the middle to the 30. Wheatley spins to the 28, maybe the 27. But they got to get right back up to the line of scrimmage. The gain is 7 on the play for Briggs Wheatley. 3rd down and 3. The clock is running. Under 2 minutes to go from Lakewood. Wheatley again awaiting the snap. Wheatley, 2-step drop, looks, slants over the middle, incomplete. At the 20-yard line, intended for Fernando Marquez. 4th down and 3 to go for Fort Morgan.
Another chance here to...
You got to get to the 25. And don't discount Wheatley running the ball. He might look like he's going to attempt a pass, but he knows he can pick up 3 yards. On 4th down and 3. In motion to the left is Sadinana. Wheatley, the pass out in the left flat. Caught by Sadinana, and he cuts it to the inside. He's got a 1st down.
Yep.
Nice job on that pass from Wheatley to Sadinana. Ball's at the 23-yard line. Pick up a 5. Again, up to the line of scrimmage. Clock is ticking. We got 1:40 to go in the game. On 1st and 10. Can't waste any time right now. Wheatley awaits a snap. 1 setback. Sadinana to his right. Wheatley looks to throw. Throws out to the middle. Complete to Marquez at the 10-yard line. And Marquez is held up. The clock is going to stop for the movement of the chains. Should go for 13 yards. For Marquez's 3rd reception. 1st down and goal with the ball at the 10. 1:20 to go. Clock is still ticking. In motion to the left is Sadinana. Wheatley up the middle to the 5. Wheatley scores! Briggs Wheatley scores again. His 2nd touchdown of the game. This one from 10 yards away. And the Mustangs trail by 9. 35-26. 1:12 to go, but you have to convert. They're going to go for 2.
Yeah, going to try.
This would make it a 7-point game. Man, a lot of fight in this team. But why the lackluster first halves? We've seen that 4 games in a row. Wheatley back to throw, lobs it left corner of the end zone, tipped up, and caught by Ortega off the deflection. Jacob Ortega makes the catch off the deflection. 35-28 with 1:12 to go in the game. Incredible. Conifer had to give Fort Morgan incredible field position, and that's what they did. Now the onside kick. The Mustangs have 2 timeouts, so if they stop Conifer, if they don't get the ball, they will still be able to get it back maybe with about 15 or 20 seconds to go, which means you have to recover the onside kick.
Yep.
What a game for Wheatley today. Now, I'm sure Conifer has their hands team in there. They had a 22-point lead at 35-13. Fort Morgan has scored the last 15 points of the game, and both were touchdowns by Briggs Wheatley, a 63-yarder and a 10-yarder. I don't know how much Frankie Ortega's practices, squib kicks or onside kicks, but you need your best one right now.
That's for sure. Yep. They got to recover it. This is their
72 seconds to go in the game. Again, you don't want a moral victory here just because you played a very good second half.
Yeah, they've got to figure out the first half of these games.
Well, and that's what you said. But it hasn't happened. It didn't happen today. Onside kick, Frankie Ortega. Looks like he's going to kick it off to his left. Let's see what type of bounce Frankie can get. There's the onside. That ball skips, and it's fielded by Conifer at the 45-yard line. So Fort Morgan can stop the clock twice. Matt Cherry, a senior, was able to come down with a football.
Yeah, we got a flag here, but I think Fort Morgan was...
They were offside?
Offside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well...
Decline that.
Again, you can stop the clock twice, but the best Fort Morgan could do now, if they don't come up with a turnover, is to get the football with about 15 seconds to go in the game. It's going to be 15, maybe 20 if they're lucky.
Yeah.
Now the wind kicks up. 1st and 10 for Conifer at their own 45. J.R. Hart will line up under center. His backs are split. Let's see if the Mustangs try to tackle the football. They might just have to do something crazy like that. Trailing 35-28. The backs are split. Hart will hand it off up the middle to Donovan, and they try to strip him. Can at the 48. Timeout is called. A gain of 3. Mustangs corral him right there. Andrew Monroe, one of the Mustangs, along with Noah Lopez. 2nd down and 7. Sam Donovan has 11 carries in the game for 89 yards. 1:06 to go. Another play which will take you a few seconds, 4 to 5, maybe 6 seconds, gets it down to a minute. Then the clock will run. And again, Fort Morgan's best realistic shot, I would think, outside of a turnover, is to have it with about 15 seconds remaining.
Right. Yep.
And then it's going to take a trick play or something. What did Boone call? Remember the Titans?
Had
fake 23 Georgia blast or something like that. I don't know what it was. Anyway, all right, 2nd down and 7 to go. With a back, it was a fake 23 blast with a backside Georgia reverse. I just remember my movie line. 2nd down and 7. This time 4 yards behind center is Hart. Mustangs are coming. Handoff to Wagner. Swings it to the outside of the 50. Breaks a tackle. He's got a 1st down, and the game is going to be over. He's down at the 40-yard line, still on his feet. They'll hold them up at the 39, but that's going to do it. It's a gain of 13 yards for Noah Wagner.
1st down, lower.
And that caps off a 171-yard day for Wagner. And now Conifer is going to go into victory formation. This will be the final play of the game. Mustangs with another rallying cry in the second half, as they did last week at Thomas Jefferson. But for the 2nd straight week on the road, they're going to fall 1 score short. And Hart takes a knee, and that's going to be it. The Conifer Lobos have defeated the Fort Morgan Mustangs this afternoon from Trailblazer Stadium in Lakewood. Conifer 35, Fort Morgan 28. It's a 2-minute break on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. John Beltran with Brian Nickell as Conifer defeats Fort Morgan